So, if you've ever found yourself asking, where did all my friends go? You're not alone. And no, it's not just you. I used to think I was doing something wrong, that maybe I wasn't a good enough friend. But what if I told you it's not about fault, it's about flow? Today we're breaking down Mel Robbins' powerful Let Them theory, and the truth no one tells us about adult friendships. Spoiler alert, it's okay to let people go. And even more empowering, it's okay to let yourself grow. Over the past few years, I've found myself sitting with a quiet but persistent question. Why does it feel so hard to hold on to friendships as an adult? This hasn't just been a passing thought. It's been a real part of my personal work. As someone who's always trying to grow, learn from mistakes, reflect, and be better, not just for myself, but for the people around me, the people in my life. I've made a conscious effort to understand this shift, not just emotionally, but intellectually too. I've leaned into research, social science, even psychology studies, not to overanalyze, but because I genuinely believe being curious and open to grow to new perspectives is part of being a better, more evolved adult. With that said, I also try not to compromise my core values, empathy, integrity, loyalty, just to justify why things change. And that's where today's video comes in. So, why do friendships fade? Mel Robbins says that there are 3 invisible forces that shape all adult friendships. 1 is proximity, 2, timing, and 3, energy. And even if one shifts, the friendship shifts too. Why distance isn't just about miles? One of the biggest reasons friendships change is proximity, but not just geographically. Mel Robbins calls this a key pillar because physical closeness once made connection almost effortless. Think about it. When I was in grad school, I saw my friends every day. We studied late, grabbed ramen, shared the same couch, the same exams, even the same existential crises. We bonded because we were together. But when we graduated, we scattered. That closeness wasn't replaced with effort. It just faded. Research from MIT found that the people we consider closest friends are often those we physically encounter most. So that makes sense, right? In fact, a famous study on college dorms showed that students were more likely to be friends with people whose rooms were closer to theirs, even if they had little else in common. Adult reality check though. Life moves us. Jobs, marriages, physical moves. According to a Pew Research study, 37% of Americans have moved states at least once in their lives, drastically affecting daily proximity with past friends. But it's not just distance, it's also digital proximity. Some friends live close but are emotionally distant. I've had friendships where we live minutes apart but haven't seen each other in years. Proximity fades without intention. So, upon reflection, instead of forcing reconnection, I learned to let people live their lives. Let them not text back. Let them be. But also, let me make space for those physically and emotionally present now. The second is timing. Are you still in the same chapter? You ever talk to a friend and realize you're not in the same world anymore, right? Timing is the second invisible force in friendships. So, when I was in my 20s, many of my friends were exploring, single, career-focused. Fast forward to now, some have toddlers, others are planning retirement, and that difference matters more than we think. Psychologist Jeffrey Arnett, who coined the term emerging adulthood, found that our 20s and 30s are full of rapid, uneven life changes. That means people grow at different paces. One friend may be partying every weekend, while another is in deep postpartum fog. That mismatch in timing makes connection so much harder. When I tried to reconnect with an old work friend recently, I found myself talking about YouTube strategy and creative burnout while they were venting about their teenagers' grades. We weren't mad at each other, we were just in different chapters now. I had a friendship that I tried to maintain for over a decade. We saw each other through promotions, weddings, even the loss of my parents. But then the timing shifted. What once bonded us now felt strained, and I had to accept we weren't aligned anymore, and that's perfectly fine. Mel Robbins says, let them go. Let them grow in their direction. let you find those who are in your chapter now. So, letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you accept the shift. This leads us to number 3, energy. When the vibe just isn't the same. This one really hit me the hardest because if you think about it, you can have the same zip code. You can be in the same phase of life, but if the energy isn't there anymore, the friendship changes. And there's no perfect formula for friendship, especially when it comes to energy. But researchers from the University of Maryland suggest that friendship quality is often more about shared emotional support and trust than shared activities or demographics. And that trust, that alignment of values, sometimes just shifts. I had a friend I once considered family. We shared everything, vacations, heartaches, holidays. But over time, the conversations became more surface level. The silences stretched, the energy felt off, and I found myself always being the one reaching out, making the plans, keeping things alive. I was exhausted. Mel Robbins says, let them not prioritize you. Let the energy shift. And let you redirect your energy to people who meet you with the same openness and joy. I know, simple, but it's hard. Here's the truth I didn't want to hear, but needed to. Friendships don't have to end with drama to be over. Sometimes they just expire quietly, and that's okay. That's powerful. And here's what I learned. I've had friendships I clung to for years. I planned the get-togethers, sent the check-ins, remembered birthdays. But when I stopped reaching out, silence. At first it hurt, then I realized that's information. Mel Robbins says, let them not text back, let them prioritize others, let them drift, and let yourself not take it personally. But the most liberating part, letting myself stop forcing friendships, letting myself grieve the loss, but not punish myself for it, letting myself welcome new people, new energy, and new seasons. And Mel said something beautiful. Some of your most favorite people you haven't even met yet. And that gives me so much hope. So what can we do? Be intentional with proximity. You might not see someone every day, but you can still create touch points, right? Set recurring walks if you're into that, coffee check-ins, or even a monthly voice memo. Friendship now requires planning. So match your season. Find people in the same chapter of life. Join local hobby groups, community classes, or online interest communities. Seek shared timing. Protect your energy. If a friendship feels forced, you're not wrong for stepping back. Energy is a two-way street. If it drains you more than it feeds you, honor that feeling. And friendships aren't failing. That's what I got wrong. They're just evolving. Let them go when it's time. Let yourself make space for what's next. So here's your invitation today. Reach out to someone whose energy still lights you up. Release the guilt of the ones who've gone quiet. And remind yourself, your next lifelong friend may be one brave hello away. Imagine that. The Let Them theory isn't just about boundaries, it's about freedom. It frees you from clinging to friendships that no longer serve you. It frees you from guilt about not keeping in touch. And it frees you to embrace new connections that align with who you are now. Mel Robbins ends her amazing chapter on this topic with a powerful promise. Some of your favorite people you haven't even met yet. I just wanted to mention that again because I really believe that. I've met some of the most life-giving friends recently. Not in childhood, not in college, but during the messy, beautiful middle of life. So let this be your invitation. Let them not text back. Let them grow apart. Let them prioritize others. Let you show up for yourself. Let you open your heart again. Let you believe that new, incredible friendships still await. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you had a friendship fade? What helped you let go? Or did it circle back? If you're in that lonely middle space, navigating change, wondering who your people are, just know you are not alone. Truly. And maybe some of your favorite people in this life, you haven't even met them yet. Remember that. I think that's going to be my new mantra. So hit subscribe and let's keep walking this road together. Please watch our other videos for more inspiring stories and topics. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.